This gem is God's Eater Burst, a wild game from Namco Bandai and Shift, published by D3 EDF. Where players hack and slash monsters in a dystopian future with giant swords that transform into guns and also have mouths that eat the monsters. And they're dressed in protective armor like yeah. The first thing that you do is create a character. I went with a girl for this game and named her Jive Train with a call sign of 8-track. You then wade through a bunch of cutscenes which lay the foundation of the storyline as you are a new type God Eater in the fight against the horrible plague of Aragami, which are destroying the world, and of course you're armed with a massive sword that weighs more than a small car that you have no problem holding or swinging, even though you're like 110 pounds. It's the realism that makes this game great. Actually, there's a lot of things that make it great. Realism is only one of them.
Congratulations. You are now the first of the Far East Branch's new type God Eaters.
Oh, come on. Anytime you pick up a sword, you have got to drop a line from He-Man, or at least Thundercats.
I've got you!
Sword that's larger than 3 of me stacked end to end. Give me sight beyond why this game is so awesome. And why didn't I play the first one, God Eater? A hugely successful PSP game in Japan. Did it even come over here? Maybe not. Maybe that's why I didn't play it. If someone had told me about it, I would have, though, because look at this game. It's like a cross between Monster Hunter and Phantasy Star Portable 2, mixed with a giant spoonful of badass. Any game that has chicks with blue hair and miniskirts wielding swords that physically eat the monsters they're attacking deserves praise on Classic Game Room. Okay, so basically as you make your way through the storyline, you plow your way through dozens of missions, where you're sent in to eliminate certain Aragami. You assemble a team that you bring with you, and yes, your sword does transform into a gun for ranged attacks, and also if you hold down the triangle button, you can take a bite out of the monster and pick up some additional firepower and items.
Not very appetizing.
Where do I buy a sword like that? The controls are a bit of an acquired taste, and the battles become extremely frantic. And while this game plays extremely well on the PSP and looks fantastic, it could have definitely benefited from dual analog sticks. And as you master the ins and outs of combat, you will have to use pretty much every button on the PSP for attacking, dodging special items, and transforming your gun while also aiming and moving at the same time. As you tear these monsters apart and also pick up items laying around the ravaged landscape, you can use those pieces to assemble new weapons and upgrade your existing weapons and armor. It's not a game where you rely on grinding to level up your character, it's more about collecting and building the weapons that are suitable for attacking the type of Aragami that you will encounter in each battle. Thank you, I'll have a wing. Aragami tastes great, smothered in buffalo sauce. Makes a fantastic meal. There's storyline missions which progress the plot, and you can replay old missions that you've already completed to earn money and collect various items. It's a massive game, one that can keep you occupied indefinitely if you find it fun, which, if you think this looks cool, you probably will.
It's not possible. They're changing form, aren't they?
Dun dun dun! The plot is very cool as you have some new teammates, some of whom have some issues. It's a good old science fiction story with lots and lots of carnage. You can also play with some friends in ad hoc mode, And there's even some downloadable content, which I will be reviewing in a future review. So, give the controls a chance in the easier missions, and always make sure to see what kind of Aragami you'll be fighting against, and equip the proper weapons and armor to exploit their weaknesses. It will make your life so much easier in the harder levels. And don't forget your stun grenades, they're also quite essential. Take a bite out of boring, predictable games and play some God's Eater Burst on your PSP. You'll find quite a bit of depth in here in addition to some extremely challenging combat. And a very cool story. God's Eater Burst.